Well, speaking of fixing baseball, Daryl Morey already did it. I don't know if you saw this over the weekend. Daryl Morey went to one Phillies game and sat down there. I think he went to the Friday game, so he's probably bored. They weren't producing any runs. His proposal for baseball, Craig, when you get a chance, if you could pull that up, his proposal for baseball: whichever team is behind is the only one who bats until they tie it or take the lead. When games are tied, everything proceeds as normal. Stop laughing. Once the team behind comes back, then the team that gets back to the bat proceeds from the last thing. No one's going to understand what that means. Let's just talk about it. I love this idea, and I'm not just being that new age, millennial kind of guy being like, oh, Daryl's right, outside the box thinker. I love this. What if a team goes up 5-0 in the first, and then I have to slog through 3 hours of a game, and it finishes 5-2?
So if I follow this correctly, you go up 5-0 in the first inning, and then say the other team doesn't score a run. So they
get 9 innings of at bats.
Okay, so they just keep going and going
until they can tie, and if they don't tie after 9 innings of at bats, they have to. The game's over.
So hypothetically, your order, like if you go up 6-0 and you get to your 7th guy in your order, but the other team never scores, your 8th and 9th batters would never go to the plate at all.
Technically,
In theory, under this scenario, you could have your first 4 guys, your first 3 guys hit, your 3-hole hitter comes up, hits a solo home run in the first inning. You make the third out of the first inning, and you have a 1-0 lead, and then you proceed to get 27 outs consecutively, and your number 5 through 9 hitters never step foot at the plate.
Brilliant. It's a brilliant. That would be awesome for the Phillies. Right now, Veerling and the guy from the Blue Jays that we just got, they're automatic outs. Like right now. So that's amazing.
How about the Maestro's idea? So Kyle,
God, this is the dumbest idea I've ever heard in my life.
Kyle Scott said he thinks there's too much time wasted with the catcher throwing the ball back to the pitcher. So what you should do is install a repository, not a suppository, a repository. Behind the mound, in the mound, off to the side of the mound, that just has balls in it that the pitcher can pick up and throw, right?
It's like almost like going to a bowling alley. You reach in.
Yes.
Right?
Yes, exactly. But what if the ball hits the tube that the balls come out of? Somebody loses a playoff game. Ooh.
Yeah. Does the repository have to go back down into the mound before like the pitch starts? How much time does it take?
I think that my main takeaway from that suggestion is that Kyle is so far out of touch with sports at this point that
do you think the Oakland A's are going to build a repository right now? There's people getting blown in the third deck right now because nobody's there. And they're going to build a repository. They're averaging 9,000 fans and can't even.
I got to get somebody to Photoshop.
The Morey thing though is stupid too, and I get it.
Why?
Yeah, so you're in on this.
I am not just being. I'm not doing this as like a bit. Like I actually do think this is a great idea where I can watch a game in an hour 15, then watch it in 3 hours.
Okay, and so like you hate baseball then, because if your whole thing is like how do I get rid of baseball as much as possible on any given night, then it's a win.
Am I getting rid of baseball?
You are though, because
Why?
like look, it's a game that is built on numbers. It's a game that's built on individual season statistics. By the way, there's a whole like players association issue with this where guys would have like their production just cut up into like 100th of what it would usually be.
Rob Manfred put a base runner on second in
If you had a good leadoff guy, there's a chance that your number 5 hitter would have like 110 at bats in a season. That's like
good.
Yeah, it would never work from that standpoint. You'd never get a players association to agree with that. But like just even the mechanics of what are you doing? You're asking a pitcher to go out and record 27 straight outs.
There are breaks. Every 3 outs. The people, the base runners are done.
Around like it's an NFL timeout for 6 minutes. Like, hey, pitcher's breather. Go out, get a beer, come back.
They do it in
if you pitch for a shitty team, you never have to pitch at all. Like your arm is preserved and you just make your millions and you're just chilling there,
Yeah, the way that you build out your team there is you invest heavily in your 1, 2, and 3 hitters and just hope that,
You're already thinking of it. You put your power hitters 1 through 4.
The plate appearances would be so weird at the end of the year. You're on like Baseball Reference or Fangraphs or something. It's like Nolan Arenado had 47 plate appearances this year.
Everyone's stats are like that's 60 game season.
750. That's so weird, man.
But like you're already thinking about it, Bob. You're already stacking the deck on the 1 through 3 pitchers. You're already stacking the deck 1 through 4. Like, hey, listen, it's a capitalistic society. 1 through 4 are getting paid. The other 99%, I'm sorry, you might be making the league minimum.
Capitalistic.